Hey everybody, okay, we're back. We back on right here, and I'm on and up and everything. Okay, I'm so excited because we have a guest, Maria Guevara.
Yes.
Is that how you say it? And okay, so Maria is a very interesting, very busy person who runs Vallejo together, and we met on Christmas, going out and giving people Christmas stuff, and you were just so damn interesting. I wanted you to come back and be on the show.
Okay, thank you.
So, can you tell us about how you started Vallejo together?
In 2010, there were 40 high school kids that almost killed a city worker. That was in Vallejo High School, and we had, like, our community was divided. Half of it wanted to take their kids out of the school and saying that our kids were like animals, and the other half wanted to build some type of community programs that would encourage children or students to come and be more productive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we got started. That was our first meeting.
Wow, 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what happened?
And then with the homeless, they were talking to us about the homeless, and since I grew up here, I've only seen about 3 homeless people, really.
You grew up in Vallejo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then so they said, no, let me take you to a place, and we went to the place, and there were like 50 homeless people, or 50 to 60, and they were mostly Filipinos, so that was an eye-opening thing for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, so were they like in a lot of different places, or?
Oh, they are. They're
Okay.
scattered everywhere.
Yeah, that night when I went and drove around with you, I mean, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
That there were people in so many places, and then I realized, like now when I go by and I look at some of the cars, I'm like, wow, there's people living in there.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you start it off?
Which part?
Just okay. Well, the part with like the part with the homeless.
So ever since that day, we started to deliver food every Friday, so 100 lunches. So we followed our friends everywhere for, I don't know, 8-9 years now. Wow. And they're everywhere. There are different types of people, children, senior citizens, lots of people.
And you guys operate, and you have a couple facilities, right?
We have a day services center, a men's home, a women's home, and a kids' home.
It's like, oh my God, and you like did this single-handedly, pretty much.
Never single-handedly. Always with community, always with people who are willing to help.
Yeah.
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 Even in prayers.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. So how long do people stay at the shelters?
A year max. So these are homes itself, women and men and children homes. So, but the shelters here in Vallejo, they have like 30 days to 90 days sometimes. It could be extended.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So have many of the people you meet like been homeless for a while, or?
Well, there are many reasons why people become homeless and remain homeless. So a big part of it is substance abuse, mental illness, non-conforming to society.
Mm-hmm.
So we could categorize them into those who are just recently homeless because of, unsustainable rent.
Yeah.
And maybe a job loss to a medical concern that required more of their funds. So those friends are less likely to become homeless for too long.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what I wondered about. Somebody was just the relationship between substance abuse and people losing their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you? So. Maria's home. What happened to her father?
We don't really.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's just. So that's wonderful that you had that. So is there just children living there, or
Children with an adult attached to them. So definitely.
Yeah. Don't you have a place where people can go and take showers too?
It's our day services center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading about I know this is like I was reading about a program where kids can bring their laundry to school and somebody will do laundry for them.
Yeah, we're actually starting that called Leah's Closet at different schools. We're just waiting for permission, but it's where the adult attached to a homeless child can go and do their laundry while they're at school.
Yeah.
And then some snacks and access to telephone.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes just stuff like that. Well, this was something where kids, it was like high school kids would bring their own laundry and then people would take it and do it. I was like, I'll do that since it would probably make me procrastinate less about doing my laundry.
Yeah.
So we were talking about travel last time, and so I was really interested in the time you've spent in the Philippines.
Okay.
So, how old were you the first time you went to the Philippines?
Birth, probably.
Really?
Around really young, super young, yeah.
So which languages do you speak?
Tagalog.
Tagalog? Yeah. Do you use like a second language?
Hi, Manang Adolfo.
Yeah. Hey, Adolfo. Did you tell him you were going to be on?
No.
Oh, good.
I just see his name.
Yeah, good, because he's at the townhouse sometimes.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Performs. We talk about politics and government a lot. So, are you able to tell me, like your like any opinions you have about the government?
Wow. Like every government, there's a lot of improvements that need to be made with the Philippine government.
Yeah.
I think Philippines being coined as the Pearl of the Orient shows that there's a lot of jewels in the Philippines, not just our natural resources, but the people. And if you see, the Filipinos are the number one most exported item in the Philippines, and it's a well-known fact that if you want your family to survive, you would need to have some type of an immigrant somewhere else to sustain the dreams of the others. It's a natural thing. It's like more common than anything. Somebody should be migrating somewhere and making the money and sending it back to the Philippines and then rebuilding the dreams of those left behind. So from a aerial standpoint, that is an acceptance of a family breakdown and kind of stating that, hey, mom and dad will be here for a little bit, but they will be serving somewhere else, and we have to be either
want to be Spaniards, and then there's the Basque part of Spain that wants to secede. They want to be Basque, not Spaniards, and I don't know. There's people I know who are extremely critical of that and think it's really terrible. and that it's nationalism, and I don't know. And then there's Brexit, which we actually don't talk about here because I don't really understand it that well. But
I understand why people want to succeed. For the Philippines, it used to be American territory, just like Guam.
yeah,
But the Filipinos wanted to separate from that because they wanted their own republic. When you're under another country's rule, there are things that you will lose, including your culture, your ways of life. You've become integrated, kind of like immigration. And I think the Filipinos just had that pride within themselves to stay Filipino,
yeah,
that they've sacrificed that kind of a relationship with America, which many people don't agree with today, because a lot of Filipinos want to be immigrants, but I understand that people don't want to lose their culture. The Filipinos fought the Spaniards for 500 years.
wow,
That's a lot of years to try to maintain your identity.
500 years.
Yeah, and for them to still come through after 500 years and still remain Filipino, even though our blood has been mixed with Spain, shows the integrity that they want to keep.
And I understand that. To me, I don't. Catalonia wasn't colonized by Spain, so that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I certainly understand about those issues. We talk about that a lot. Like I talk about like different. Usually, like about the first hour of the show is different African nations, and like so there's. Like Catalonia wants to secede because they're a wealthier part of Spain, and so they feel like they're subsidizing other parts of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my God, 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
The fighting Filipinos
seriously,
that are still fighting today.
Seriously,
Mm-hmm.
Because we were talking about. We were talking about like people being offended and like the whole drama that's been happening about the state of Israel, and because I find that nationalist, and we talk about the Hungary, that is the prime minister of Hungary likes Trump a lot, and he is doing all these programs to like try and like get people to have Hungarian babies. He doesn't want people to come from other. So so I was like, okay, if I moved to Spain and had a kid, the kid would be a Spaniard. I mean, to me but it's not. So to me, it's just pretty creepy that we're all so. But yeah, I mean, overthrowing colonialism is not secession. We were talking about Algeria, and so yeah, I'm not going to go over the whole thing again, but just also about how one of the things that colonizers do is steal history. We talk a lot about like artifacts and records that are stolen that from other parts of it and taken to other parts of the world, about people getting that stuff back. So the people. Okay, so here's a question about the Philippines. I mean, I really would like to go to the Philippines because I've known so many people from the Philippines. What are museums like in the Philippines?
Well, I mean, you can go to the San Francisco Bay Aquarium now and see a live museum of the Philippine coral reef, and you would experience the kind of coral reefs that we have and the different fishes that we have in the Philippines. Because there's a big ode to the Filipino coral reef there. And then...
and where is it?
The San Francisco Aquarium.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Is that at the the San Francisco Zoo, or is that somewhere else?
Somewhere else. I'll send you the info because
Yeah.
I went there for the first time and I was amazed and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my homeland. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I scuba dive. I know people that scuba dive, and I know people that go to scuba dive, that have gone to scuba dive in the Philippines, and I like to scuba. I mean, but if I was going to go to the Philippines, I would really want to get out and, I mean, and just see the culture, not.
I think what you would do is rather than go to a museum of buildings is go to our different areas of the Philippines because it's a living museum. We have rice terraces, like chocolate hills they're called. We have beaches that look better than Hawaii. We have coral reefs that are beautiful. We have land that looks like just straight Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's land that looks straight like India because so many different people have come and stayed in our land and made it their own
Yeah.
for a little bit, and we keep it that way. So, yeah.
Like, what about art?
There's a lot of art there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go. I mean, I love museums. I love going places and checking out the art and just trying to like see everything, experience everything.
Yeah. Filipinos have beautiful voices, so there's a lot of choir. To help us, and they do.
Wow. And then do you get any money from the city?
They helped us with our day services center, but that soon is ending, so we'll be applying for some grants.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do the grant? Do you do the grant writing too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Look how chill she is about all that. Yeah.
Filipinos are chill though. they don't really be tripping.
Yeah.
Don't I find the coolest people to come here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't believe how much you do with Vallejo together.
Oh, I'm grateful. It's an honor and a privilege to help our friends.
Yeah. And you've seen, I know and you've also seen you've also really seen people find homes too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that must be such a good feeling.
Yeah, to see someone become self-sufficient, yeah.
Yeah.
All you need is a little support and love and patience.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had so much fun. On Christmas. Well, I don't know. It's not fun like party sort of this
Oh,
stuff,
no, yeah.
but I just enjoyed. I mean, and then I volunteer at Faith Food Fridays, so yeah, people are always so especially it's such a like when people come in like it's like asking for blankets and stuff, and it's such a bad feeling when you run out of blankets.
I know. It is. It's really cold.
Yeah. Yeah. It's warm. So, do you feel like, okay, so one of the things people talk about is getting like people, like having like sort of like car park sort of, or like trying to like get people to park their cars together so that they're a little safer.
Yeah, it's called Safe Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for a while and waiting on some partners to say yes.
Yeah. Okay, because I'd certainly like to like.
So is that like a place where homeless people can park their cars?
Yeah, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and they would have access to a restroom, and there's no anybody trying to bother them, but give them a safe space to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. I had this woman staying with me who'd been like staying in her car with her little kids and stuff. And I mean, that was one of the things when I was going around with Maria. There's like people here and car, and people are just so vulnerable.
We're all one paycheck away or two.
Right.
But even if we aren't, we've all been cold and we've all felt that.
Yeah.
Hungry and The difference is that, today you get to eat and live somewhere and then they don't.
Seriously, I mean, yeah, I feel very grateful to have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, because it's just, with like everything, it's obviously, I mean, it's so, all, like when you're broke or something, like, okay, you can cut down on, there's a lot of adjustment. Okay, like you can cut down on this, you can like be more careful about that, but you either have a home or you don't.
Or family support or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you can like mess with your budget, or like, okay, I can not have a phone or something. But then, I mean, when somebody loses a home, then
it's final. Especially when you're older, that's harder.
Well, that's a big thing.
Yeah, and this town is really going off on rent because it's like the most desirable place to live, and so people who own property don't want to just get paid $1,000 anymore. They want to double it.
Oh, yeah.
So they're kicking so many people out, including seniors, and then they become homeless, and it's just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is. So, okay, and so that's Vallejo together.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
We're grateful.
Thank you so
Thanks for your
much.
patience. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we've been
Very
trying. Yeah, we've been
Great
trying to.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been trying to do this.
I was kind of wondering who helps the homeless people in Vallejo. I see them, I go to the 99-cent store. They seem like to park over there. They used to park where Carl, I think it's in between Carl's Jr.
Yeah, right there by Smart and Final.
Yeah, over there behind there.
A lot of people help the homeless in Vallejo. There's a lot of silent partners.
Yeah.
There's Faith Food Fridays, ourselves, there's Christian Help Center, but there's so much community backing to help, even in prayer or thoughts and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I definitely come across people that just go out and do their own
It's beautiful.
and help people on their own.
yeah, Project Blessing
Yeah.
Bags. There's just
Oh,
so
yeah.
many people that do it.
Yeah.
But there just needs to be, that's why we have the Vallejo Homeless Roundtable, because we're solidified in our goal of a 24-hour navigation center.
So, do you want to tell our listeners what that is?
Yes, so there should be access to housing or emergency housing or shelter 24 hours a day, because when people become homeless, you never know what time of day it is. And so a lot of our women who are domestic violence and fleeing, they need a place to go to, and children, that is accessible 24 hours a day, that is low barrier. So even if they have their pets, their property, a partner, Christian
Yeah.
Help Center, you have to be men on one side, women on the other. So married couple or couples that don't want to separate from children. If a boy looks like he's 13, he can't stay with his mother. So
Oh,
bushes or separation, it's a big deal. So
Yeah.
24 Navigation Center would help with a lot of it.
Yeah, 13-year-old boy, you don't want to like send him over with,
Just strangers,
Strange men,
right? But
yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you were also telling me that, I mean, people all, I mean, if a woman like leaves her home for some reason, I mean,
A lot can happen.
Yeah.
Between the hours of leaving one abusive situation and to another. So they go on the street and there's a lot of men, predators, that want to say, hey, I can give you a ride, or let me take you somewhere. And then there's always that, like wanting something in return type of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them become human trafficked, they've been raped, assaulted, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So if there was access to a place and it's a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So cool. Okay. So, we are gonna be back with Global History Night on the 28th, but next Wednesday night is Duck Soup.
Yes.
Yes.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, and then after that, there's also something going on in Duck Soup is also in Concord, but we will blurb that next time. So, yes, thank you so much to Maria Guevara
you.
and Vallejo together,
Thank you,
and to
DJ.
Adolfo and
Thank you,
DJ Rowe
Nancy.
and everybody. Okay,
Thanks,
good night.
Anna.
Thank you.